Okay, so basically what I do is to set aside money for different purposes. So I have 5 category at the moment. What I have so far is miscellaneous, bills, so I contribute to the light bill because I'm working from home at the moment, social life, because and I might do my toes or not, it depends. So one month I'll do
Personal care. Okay. Moving right along.
and the 5th is school. Yeah, I have a fixed account for school.
Okay, so how and why for me? Why do I budget? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to just work and I am working for a paycheck, so I'm living hand to mouth. I want at the end of the day, when I'm finished working, to be able to afford things. I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car. There are things that I want to get. In order for me to get those things, I need to know where my money is going. So for one thing, for 2020 for me, my goal was to be debt free. I had a credit card, I had a student loan, and I just wanted to cover those things, and I've been able to successfully eliminate I've been able to successfully eliminate those debts. So that was my goal for 2020. Why? So I spoke about the why. So my how, I also use an Excel sheet, or what's it called in Apple, whatever. You can use Excel, any kind of sheet where you can, so I write down what it is my income from my salary, whatever side hustler I'm doing, or whatever way I'm getting additional income. I normally list that as well. And
Numbers is a good one.
yeah, so Excel or numbers, it's called numbers on Apple. Yes, so write down what my income is. In addition to that, I write categories. So Kerecia, she does 5 categories, I do a little more. So I go more in depth. I do transportation, like every area, groceries, bills. For my bills, I list out the particular one, JPS, NWC, Flow. I list the name of the bill company and how much it is that I pay each month. In addition to that, I do a weekly like spending tracker. Yeah,
okay.
So say I buy groceries this week, I put it in week 1, and then next week if I'm buying groceries, I'm like, why am I buying groceries every week? It's because I may have a little more, I spend a little more because I take care of more things. So if it is that you are in charge of a household or whatever, then that may help you as well, not just having like big categories, but breaking it down into smaller categories so that you can analyze, because you're not just putting down the information to put it down. You are over time looking at what it is that you're spending, the areas that you may be wasting money. So you may think, oh, I'm going to the supermarket, like I have to buy food, but do you have to buy the items that you buy, and are they lasting, or does it make sense? So that is my why and my how. Ensure that I write down specific categories and note the amounts I spend. I do a week over week thing. If you are just starting out, what I would encourage you to do before you even make, say, $5,000 for grocery, $2,000 for phone card, whatever, what I would say to do in your first month or first fortnight is to just write down where your money goes before you even start saying this is for over here, so that is for over here. So track what it is that you are currently spending. See if everything that you're paying for makes sense, because some of the times especially when you're not tracking, you can feel like this is important or this makes sense, and it really isn't. So step 1, I would say, is to just track your money. So when you get paid, write down how much you get paid and every area that you spend. That, I would say, is the first step. So the next question, what's one thing that you have learned through the whole budgeting process? What's the biggest takeaway you have learned so far?
That so it's not every event or every outing that
every jump on
that I'm invited to, I'm going to be able to go. Like there are going to be times when I don't have it because it's not in my budget. And what I realize is once I don't have the money on me, I am broke. It's in my bank account, but once I don't have it, I am completely broke. I don't have it. So yeah,
that's a very good tip, because something I have done when I wanted to pay off my credit card, I stopped walking with my credit card. Like, my legit no know it right now. The other day, I try. But okay, so my bank allows me to put a lock on it, so that's good. But I do not. I think I know it there, but I don't walk with my credit card. If it is that you find that you keep buying food or buying something with your debit card, don't walk with your debit card. Have like a petty cash. So for me, that's like $2,000. So whatever it is, but for that week you have that set amount on you, and that will encourage you not to spend above that, because they know that, hey, I don't have my card with me and petty cash is $3,000 or whatever. I'm just giving you an example, so you definitely know what your transportation or what your life cost overall. So say you have a savings account that you're just, when you get paid, you put money over there, so you don't want to use it. Don't bring that card to KFC, because chances are you're gonna leave with chicken and not money. So if it is that you can separate your things and don't walk with that savings account card, that's major key. All right, so that's one thing that you have learned. One thing for me is reminding myself of my priorities. Sometimes when you have like big goals, say you want to start a business, say you want to go back to school, say you want to buy a house, those things, they are far off. And we live in an instant world, so you have the money now, buy this, Bridget's have sale, this, that, all kinds of things. Every hotel have a sale right now. You need to remind yourself of what it is that your ultimate financial goal is. So whether that is putting as your wallpaper, putting up your financial goal as your wallpaper on your lock screen, whether that is making a vision board, but have some type of putting a picture in your purse. Remember, everybody hates Chris Dan? Yeah, like him, do you have something in wallet or something? I don't remember, but like having a visual representation of what your financial goal is somewhere that you see every day, whether that be at your desk at work, if you work from home, something on the wall, something in your wallet, something on your phone. But just remind yourself daily, because there are days when you feel bad and you just want to spend money because that will make you feel better in the moment, but you have to remind yourself of your long-term goals. Yes. All right, so what is your tip to anyone that is trying to budget? This is your first job, really, your first real job, and you are new to this, getting an income. You know, you get your lunch money or whatever, and you spend that frivolously. And when our lunch money is done, I never used to look on her. Yeah, so what is your major tip in somebody just starting out, somebody getting paid and realize that, yo, at the end of the day, I don't know my money there. What you tell them?
Okay, so basically I think I would let them know that, okay, first set goals, both long-term and short-term goals, and work towards that. That's the first tip.
Yeah. Maybe put somebody's in there.
Alright.
So what is your tip to anyone trying to budget?
Okay, yeah, secondly, I think that what you should do, like we spoke about earlier, what you should do is to ensure that you know where the money is going, exactly where it is going to, and then like after like the first month or so, what you can do is to see where you don't need to spend so much money, like on food. Like if you go at KFC 5 days a week, cut it down to 2. Like certain areas you can cut down. So that's a major tip that I think you can take with you. Yeah.
For me, something I did recently is I was postpaid, and recently I switched to being prepaid. And when I switch back to being prepaid, I don't put on service, because at the end of the day, if somebody really needs to reach me, them have my number. You can call me, and if it's an emergency, my family has my number at work. So you get what I'm saying? So you can look at where it is that your money goes and see where you can cut back. And at first it may be $1,000 here, $1,000 there, but it add up. Compound interest is a thing. All right, so
wait, one more. For spenders like me, what you can do is to also have a fixed account. So set the goal and save towards that. A fixed account meaning that you cannot draw money until you reach the goal or the year. So yeah, that is a good thing for people who love to spend.
Yeah, and a lot of banks have accounts like that. They're pretty popular right now.
VM.
Yeah, I used to have that one at VM, and I think Jane has the partner plan. We're not plugging any particular bank, but definitely do your research, get to know. But there are accounts, there are opportunities for you to put down the money every month. You put a certain amount and it compounds. So savings. I wanted to get into that about the importance of saving. And for me, when I really wanted to start saving, I utilized the 80-20 rule. When you're just starting out, you can do whatever works for you, because I don't want you to feel like financial planning or financial responsibility mean that you don't spend and you don't get to enjoy your money any at all. That's not true. You have to, like, you just plan how much it is. So if this month is $1,000 you spend on yourself, or $500 you treat yourself to an ice cream, or you go KFC 1 or 2 times, but you plan what it is before, so you don't just spend until, oh crap, my money done. So you have something in plan. So for me, what I would encourage anyone starting out to do is to start saving. That is step 1. Once it is that you start putting on money, whether you say $1,000 a month, $1,000 a fortnight, whatever it is that you can afford to, you put that money aside. The next thing is to have an emergency fund. There's been things that has happened in our family, and you know, thankfully I would have saved money. So where it could have been a whole thing, there's a lot of, anything can happen. Anything can happen in life, guys. If you never know that before, 2020 I would say anything can happen. And there has been a lot of little emergencies here and there, and the one thing is that I always can give a card or contribute, and that sometimes it gets stressful, but I am thankful that I'm in a position that I can do that, because if me never in a position then yeah. So it is good to save. Emergency saving is important. That's something that I took for granted, but I learned this year that having an emergency saving is very, very important. So once it is that you start saving, think about something that has happened in your life, whether it be somebody in the hospital, you need to remove a tooth, your mother's sick. Like, you don't want to be in that situation, but that can happen. And how much do you think that it would cost you? Say on average, say you say 20 grand. Like, if your gas done, you have one car and a gas not in there, your tire bust, like whatever it is, how much would that an emergency cost you? So you start saving towards that emergency. So first you have a savings account where you just put on money, whether it be 500, any little amount. You see, say you have money left, the next time you get paid, you put that in that. Second thing is the emergency. Something happens in your life and you need to pay for that. So say you put down 2,000 or 2,500 a month towards your emergency. Say you have 2 grand saving, you have 2,500 emergency. When your emergency fund reach that 25 grand, because that's what you that's what you say it is, you stop putting, because that's just in case of something happen. And the third thing that I would encourage people to do is start investing. So definitely I'm going to leave some resources below as to persons that I look to in these areas. I have Clever Girl Finance, I have Dave Ramsey, which is great. Uncle Dave know everything about money. And locally, as it relates to investing, Kalila Reynolds. So investing, I won't get too much into today, but today what I want the takeaway to be for you guys is to give your money a job, save, and plan for a rainy day. Have an emergency fund. That's something that I'm currently working on getting back up, but it's important because anything can happen, and that's how people fall in financial problems. When they have a challenge, they have to go borrow a loan. So if you can be the person that you borrow a loan from, that's amazing. So that's what I want to leave you guys with. Save. No, firstly, know where your money go. Once you know where your money goes, start saving. And third thing, start planning for emergency.
And for young people like myself, it's not everywhere that you're invited to, you're going to go.
Yes, so guys, I hope you learn a thing or two today about personal finances. I want to thank Ty for being a part of this video. You are never too young to save. You are never too young to know where your money goes. Somebody may be watching this video and thinking, but I don't have a job. Do you get lunch money? You get an allowance, whatever it is. And sometimes you don't think it's an allowance. Every time your grandfather get PM get 2 grand, allowance that. Put it down. Whatever it is, you were saying something, Kay?
No.
Whatever it is that you have coming in, put on something outside. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you learned something.